Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Arnold, and today we have a special guest, Elaina from Tarot Vision 111. She has a YouTube channel, and she's here today to talk to us about her YouTube channel, how she gets started in her intuitive business. And if anybody's looking to start an intuitive business, then this might help you out. She's here to tell you what her journey was, how she got started, and tell us about her services. And she also has a money bowl ritual that she's going to share with us so that we can all create more abundance in our reality. So, Elaina, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us today. It's so exciting to have you on our channel. And I've checked out your YouTube channel as well. Can you tell everyone a little bit about your YouTube channel and how you got it started?
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. So I got started with tarot at a very young age, and then just kind of got a little nervous about it just because of what, the judgment that would come with it. And then I put that off for a little while, but then I finally got the courage and strength to start doing it again and realize there's nothing scary. There's nothing harmful that will come as long as you have the correct spiritual, I call it spiritual hygiene, to be able to protect yourself during your work. And after that, I was like, I want to do this for people. I think that people would benefit from having readings, even if it's just like a short little reading. It really does help calm people down. I realize that their situation may not be as scary, or you know how that can go. Like, people get nervous just going to have a reading in general. So I like to do the readings through email. So you would just send me your question and then I would answer it like that.
So they can just ask the question and you can answer it over email. So that way, if they're not comfortable on camera, they don't have to worry about that. They get a lot more privacy. That's awesome.
Exactly. I get a lot of first timers like that. So it kind of eases them into it. And then they do end up coming back because it's so comfortable to do it like that.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you also have your YouTube channel is all about tarot readings, and your TikTok as well. And so you give like daily readings on those?
Daily. I'll do daily readings, tarot flips, and then I also do, I try to throw it, I do Reiki as well. So I'll do a little bit of Reiki here and there. And then I'll do energy, which sounds a little funny, like an energy card pull. It's just a different style of tarot or a different type of deck.
And what about your crystals? You have a crystal shop as well. How'd you get into that?
At the end of 2019, I had lost my job due to pandemic. And from there I was like, I love these crystals and I wish I could have them, like an abundance of them. And then I was like, why don't I just start a little shop and see how it goes? It was literally trial and error because I had no job. So I was like, I can't go wild and buy a bunch of stuff, but I did. I bought a little bit and here and there, and then it kind of just evolved from there.
So we'll put those links below as well if you want to check out her crystal shop. And I was wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about your, like, not struggles, but like your journey. If somebody wanted to start an intuitive business, like, and they weren't having the confidence or the know-how to where to start, like, could you tell us a little bit about where you began? Like, what was the first steps that you took?
The first steps that I took, I was already in a spiritual awakening at this point, which I had a tarot reading from a lady, and she actually opened the whole world to me on, you're not alone, you're not crazy, these things are real. And that kind of like, because I had already been connected as a child, so this really put me like their spirits telling me catapulted. They're like trying to chime in. Catapulted me into this idea of even having a shop or even doing the tarot for others. So during this journey, I started meditating a lot. I just felt like this would be the easiest way to step into that world. Especially, I was like, I knew about it, but I still had fear along with that. So the one way to really get out of that was starting to meditate pretty often. I would say I tried to do it every day for about 15 minutes. And then that lets inspired action pop in, right? Because now we're like elevating our energy and then allowing like happy spirits to come in instead of the ones that try to keep us down. And so it just evolved from there.
And what about your family? Did you have family support, friend support?
I was really worried about telling my family. Like my sister, totally gifted. She's a natural like channel on her own since she was a baby. So she understands where I'm coming from, and she was like, yeah, do it. All the way around with crystals and tarot. And then I was kind of worried to tell my mom, but my mom was like, totally, because she's more on the religious side, Catholic. And so I was kind of worried about that. But she has been hands down like, you go, girl. She's that kind of person, like, do it. If that's what you want to do, you need to do it. And then surprisingly, throughout the years, all the rest of the family has had that same reaction. And they're also, I would say, pretty religious Catholic. So I was really shocked about that.
Yeah, that's awesome that they're on board and supporting you. And so we're going to get right into, thank you for sharing your story.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to get right into the money bowl.
Yeah.
And this is a money bowl ritual that I actually saw Elaina do a video on, and I thought it was awesome. So I asked her if she could share it with our audience. And it's just a fun little ritual that we can all do to create more abundance.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about it? And
yeah, before we get into that, with your shirt being green and mine being green, it's like right on point with money bowl, money energy, wealth energy. And specifically, what's even cooler is that today is the 1st, which I don't know if you're familiar, but a lot of people like on social media will be talking about blowing cinnamon into your home. So you would put a little bit of cinnamon, stand at your doorway, and then blow it into your home for abundance. So that's something you can do like right after this video to help increase wealth, abundance, prosperity into your home. Okay. But also,
is the first of the month, is that significant because of the numerology, or like the number 1, or is it the first day?
Exactly. First day, like fresh start. Nice. They even recommend to sweep and clean the area, clean the doorway, and then you would do it because it's like a cleansing portion, and then you would blow in the prosperity into your home. Nice. And then this bowl can be done the 1st or any time you decide to do it. So that's another thing with this bowl, is because you don't have to be strict on doing it on the 1st. Jupiter rules on Thursday, and Jupiter helps with abundance as well. So if you wanted to start your bowl on a Thursday, you could do that. It would catapult the abundance and the wealth as well.
Okay. Is that every Thursday that Jupiter?
Yes.
Okay.
You could do it every Thursday. And some people go as far as making it a even bigger ritual by setting up like an altar for Jupiter and kind of having Jupiter work with them throughout the week as well. Like you could do something like that. And this can be any Thursday of the month. And then let's jump into the bowl. All right. So with the money bowl, I actually use, I got this during Halloween, and I tried to spray paint it black. And then inside I already have my rice. Rice signifies money and coins. And I did color it green. So just know, like, this is not edible after. You don't want to save this. This is just for your money bowl. And I added in the herbs that would go along with the money bowl. So I have dill and thyme, and anything that's green can go in here. And I do have some salt in there as well. And that's for purification and keeping everything high vibration. And now the fun part is decorating the bowl. So cinnamon. So this is why we have the salt and the rice in there as well, to keep everything up. Cinnamon is for like energized energy for the bowl. Then I add a lot of crystals. So I add citrine, and that's for abundance as well. I add selenite for keeping everything pure and high vibe. Same thing with the clear quartz. Okay. And let's see. Peacock ore also does the same thing. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's like a rainbow stone.
Cool.
And then malachite, little malachite chips. You can literally use anything you have at home to add to your bowl. I added this little, See how it wants to jump in there. It's a little malachite E. I don't know if you can see that, but that's for my name, so I'm putting it in here.
Awesome.
So anything that's green, I have a little heart as well of tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is also for confidence with bringing in the money, and just other little chips. And then I also add I added a dollar bill. Some people add even more money, but you can add coins as well. So I have US coins and foreign coins as well, because this is letting the universe know that you're open to all types of currency. You can use anything that you have that from your travels and add it in, because this lets the universe know that you are accepting of all abundance and all wealth from all avenues, including overseas or anywhere.
Awesome.
I like to add a lot of coins. Yeah. And crystals. Okay, so let's jump into the bay leaves, because I overdo it with my crystals. So with the bay leaves, you would set your intention and write on here what you want to attract. So like if you want a prosperous business, you would write that on here. If you want something for career, you can also write it on here as well. And then some people like to burn them. I personally like to keep them in the bowl, just because it's showing your intention and what you want to do for the future. And then you would decorate it how you want, and then so on. You would keep adding, like if you want to get a new home, you would write that, a new car, and so on. And then we'll just add this in there just because I overdo it all the time. And before I forget, so I would say to recharge your bowl every 1 to 3 months. I generally do it every 3 months, just because it starts to get a little weak in its vibration, and it starts to get a little dusty and things like that. And you want to recharge this, because it is, I actually think of it as a living bowl, because we have charged so much energy into it and intention that you do want to make sure and check up on it, basically, is how I would put it.
Okay, and I have a question, if you don't mind. When you say recharge, do you mean just dump it out and then put everything back in, or do you actually get new crystals and new money?
I throw away the rice and salt, just because it does get a little dusty in there. I keep all the money, and I keep all the crystals. You can change out your cinnamon if it looks bad. And then with these little guys, you may want to redo them or burn them and then redo them for the bay leaves.
Okay, and do you have to cleanse the crystals, like put them in the sunlight or anything before you put them back in? Or
generally, I would say yes, but because I have the selenite, this is going to keep everything pretty well, because this will keep everything cleansed throughout the whole time.
Okay. And when you're done, you're making your money bowl. Should you place it somewhere specific in your house?
So for me, I place this in the living room. I generally am always in the living room, so I like to keep it there with me, and I can tend to it. Maybe I can add more coins or add more crystals. Some people like to put it into their bedroom, but it generally depends on the person. So you can place this anywhere.
Okay, and is there a saying that you should say when you're finished, or is there like lighting candles or anything to go with it?
I like to call in my spirit guides. I like to ask them for their help to bring in abundance as well, just to have them back me up. And I like to set all the intentions. So like anything that was written on the bay leaves, you would talk about that in your with your spirit guides, and then go from there. And something to think about too is you want to make sure you say it with harm none rule, which is meaning all the money that is intended for me, because everyone has their own money tree, right? Everyone has their own prosperity, so we're calling in that only.
So just divine light, like the consciousness of the money from the divine light is all that you would wish to attract.
Exactly.
And what about the rice? Now, I'm wondering, you dyed it green. How did you dye it green?
So I dyed it green with, you have to use a little bit of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and you would spritz that I keep everything in a bag, spritz it in the bag, add a little drop of food coloring green, and then I would massage it, and then you just keep adding the color until you like it. and then you would place that on a tray, and then let it dry, fully dry.
Okay. And what kind of
Yeah.
salt do you use in it? And do you dye the salt as well?
I don't dye the salt. I use Himalayan pink salt, and I use Dead Sea salt in there, and that helps keep it purified as well. It's like another, almost like another protection portion of it as well. And a nice little bonus is that the rice is green and the salt is pink, so it gives it like a nice little boost of color, and they look really pretty next to each other. I like to look at that as well.
So it gives it a good energy when you're in a high vibe. And if you get your pretty
Exactly.
colors, my inner child's
Yep.
all excited about this Barbie movie coming out because of all
Oh,
the
yeah.
pink and
Yep.
yeah. Yeah. So anything to get you in a high vibe, put that intention in there as well.
Exactly. Anything
Yeah.
that is geared for abundance, wealth, prosperity, or like how I had the malachite shaped in an E. I just happened to find that, and I put it into my bowl because it was the first letter of my name. So I dropped it in there. So it doesn't necessarily have to go in, but I liked it. So I was like, it's me. So I'll
Awesome.
put it in there. Yeah.
Awesome. And do you have other bowls that you do like for joy or happiness or abundance for other things, like something else besides money? Is that
You
something that you do
know,
well?
I have not made any type of bowl like that, but what I do is I make like little tea lights, and I'll do them like that. So
Oh, nice.
that is when you start doing other things like other rituals and spells that are geared for love and happiness and things like that.
Well, that's awesome, Elaina. Thank you so much for sharing your money bowl ritual with us. That's going to help a lot of us with our abundance, and it's a fun thing to do for our inner children. And I'm always up for anything that gets the inner child excited and happy because it gets us in a state of joy. And when we're in a state of joy, we can create more abundance and also receive more messages from the universe. They can connect, our spirit guides can connect with us easier. So thanks for coming today and sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really excited to have everyone check this out and try it at home.
Yes, and if anybody wants to check out Elaina's YouTube channel, it is Tarot Vision 111, and I will put all her links in the description below. And we will see you next time. Thanks again.
Bye. Thank you.
See ya.